I wanted to take just a minute and walk you through a sample outline that I created looking at a symbol in the use of snow. So this is going to go with that thesis that you've already looked at. I want to walk you through my process for topic sentences and choosing evidence. So for my thesis, it's pretty close to the same as what you would have seen on my literary analysis thesis assignment, but I do have the experience and writing capacity of someone who's been doing it for many, many years, right? So my work might not change quite as much as, say, a Comp 2 student would. Here's my thesis. In Snow, Beatty likens snow to love in both its beauty and ephemeral nature, leaving readers with the notion, even when lost, love should be cherished. So here, I have my thesis, and we can see a clear connection to the prompt. I'm analyzing a symbol in snow to convey a message, the importance of love. I'm letting you know how she's doing that by setting up snow as a symbol for love through its beauty and ephemeral nature, so that we understand that I'm going to be talking about those things. Now, in my topic sentence, remember, your topic sentences have to provide an analytical claim that you'll prove in your paragraph through the use of evidence and, more importantly, your explanation of that evidence. So, in topic sentence 1, through the narrator's memories of living in the country with her former partner, Beatty establishes the comparison of love and snow. So immediately I'm getting into love and snow are tied. I use the word comparison. It's perfectly fine rather than using the symbol. The comparison works fine to show how she's building it into a symbol. Then I choose 2 quotes from the story that I'm going to use in my explanation to further explore how love and snow are being placed together in a meaningful way to provide a specific meaning to the reader when reading this story. So again, I want to look at this topic sentence where I'm showing this is how we're seeing this comparison initially be established. And you'll also note that with my topic sentence, if we look at some of the language in the thesis statement, I'm using some of the same language or similar language to help demonstrate that connection. Now, for topic sentence 2, as the story progresses, so does the lens through which readers understand the complexity of both love and snow. So again, I'm tying together love and snow, and I'm bringing in this idea of the reader. I'm tying it back to the reader. Here, in this first paragraph, I'm implicitly evoking the understanding of the reader. In topic sentence 2, I'm getting more into specifically how the reader is being impacted. If we go back up to my prompt, note that in my prompt, it very plainly states that we have to consider what the message is for the reader and how it impacts the reader, okay? For topic sentence 2, its paragraph, again, I have provided a couple of examples that I think are going to help me in my paragraphs when I go to actually write my essay. Paragraph 3, while the narrator ultimately loses the love she shared with her partner, it is evident through the function of snow as a symbol, she values the time she spent with her former lover. So here I'm moving from it was established to here's a connection that the reader's starting to understand to snow has been used as a symbol. And this is what it's telling us, that it is evident that she values is me connecting that to the reader. The it is evident to the reader. You could add the words to the reader. Maybe as I go to revise this, I might add in those words. Maybe I won't. It's understood that I'm talking about the reader comes to understand this. And again, I've chosen my examples that are going to help support me as I go through explaining how this is happening in the story and how the reader understands it. And then finally, readers are left with the understanding, though love, like snow, doesn't last, it should be cherished. Here, I have very directly tied it into, this is what readers take away from this. And then in my paragraph, I've got a couple of examples, or in my plan for my paragraph, I have a couple of examples I think will help demonstrate that for me. It's worth noting that as I go to actually draft my paper, I might need to change the wording. I likely will need to wordsmith the wording of these particular paragraphs. I may need to swap out evidence. Maybe when I get to actually writing what I think I'm going to do here, maybe I'm thinking about the example again, and it's like, maybe that's not the best. So I need to swap something out. That's perfectly fine. If that's something that you run into, that is not only acceptable, but expected, because this is just a plan. You want to put a lot of work and thought into your plan, but it's certainly possible that you can make changes. You should not be rigid in the idea that whatever you put on this page is exactly what you have to do. But you should be putting in enough thought that you have carefully considered both the story and your topic and how your ideas are working together to logically lead your reader through answering your essay prompt. Then I provide my conclusion. Beatty, in the end, leaves readers with a clear message. Even when it doesn't last, love, like snow, is worth the excitement, messiness, and trouble it causes. This message prompts readers to reflect on their own relationships, both current and past, pausing to admire the complexity and fulfillment that accompanies both the beauty and heartache that comes with loving another human being. So I very quickly provide a quick synopsis, and then I branch out to what the greater implications of the message of the story are. There are errors here. This was a draft. It's not perfect. It would be, though, a great underpinning for a rough draft of a paper. And as I go into draft a rough draft, I'm probably going to make some changes, just like between my rough draft and a final draft. I would certainly make some changes based on what is and is not working. But I hope you can see the connections between thesis statement, topic sentences, and then the evidence that's being chosen. Note, in every single case, I'm choosing quotes as my evidence. I'm not saying, well, when this happens in the story, da 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 da, or I'm not using 2 or 3 words to say I'm going to talk about this sort of thing. That is not acceptable for this assignment. You are going to want to put in the quotes with clear topic sentences that are fully formed, with a thesis that is fully formed. I don't want to see your full introductory paragraph at this point. I just want what you think your thesis is, and then a fully formed conclusion. This is a short conclusion. I probably would add to this as I'm drafting the paper, or certainly as I'm revising a draft of the paper, but it's a good starting point. All of this is providing a good starting point, a good underpinning for a paper. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have questions.